Yeah.
Newer factions tended to be the ones where we didn't know what to pick because they were all pretty good.
Though part of it is because there's just not as many models.
Alright, I said I would do some more drawing, and I finally got around to it. I timed myself. It takes me from beginning to end about 2 hours to do everything. You know, I think I'm going to focus a little more on just pencil drawings because I'm not really digging the way the ink's turning out. I get to the point where I start to transition into ink, and I don't know, in my eyes, it's just not looking right. I don't know if I need better pens or if I'm just rusty. I don't have my shading down. But I'm really super happy with the way the pencils look, and it's really easy to shade pencil. Like, pencil sketching's super easy, but ink's a little more difficult, which is why I want to keep doing the ink, because I need to practice. But I don't know, I just think the finished product doesn't look as good. But this is my interpretation. We'll call it the DEI Chud Incel Pride Month edition of Female Custodes. I present to you. Now, last time I did the female space marine, I got lambasted by one guy for trying to advocate for putting women in men's spaces, and I was like, man, this guy even watched the video? So, I don't know. Hopefully people get the joke. We're going to do some response to comments this morning, of course. I got a ton of them to go through. But first I did want to talk about a couple things. Have you guys seen the new Star Wars Acolyte? I'm noticing I've been watching all of the fan videos, which are way more interesting than the actual video itself. It reminds me of that old Mystery Science Theater 2000, where they would watch really bad sci-fi and the two little robots and the dude would make fun of the movie, and it was actually pretty funny. And that's what the reaction videos remind me of, and I get way more enjoyment watching the people react to the video than I do actually watching Disney's. Ugh. But I'm watching all like the Hollywood Reporter and what's the other one, Forbes, and they're claiming racist backlash. You know, the show's got the lowest ratings of any Disney in history. And why is it they always go to racism? Because what's her name? Amanda Stenberg. Stenberg, is that right? How you say it? She's black, just like what was the other one of the Obi-Wan TV show, and it got taken over by that one girl, and they claimed racism there too. And I was like, I don't understand why they always go to racism, because nobody's being racist. Nobody cares that they're black. Like, not one person. They care that it's a shit show. It's crap. It's garbage. It's badly written. It's DEI woke nonsense. Disney came out and said they knew that their built-in fan base was 75% male. Knowing that, you know, they want to get more females involved. They want to get more. They want it to be more inclusive. I understand that. I get that. You want to grow your audience, of course. But if you know that 75% of your built-in, paying, interested, dedicated audience is all males, and mostly like my age, surprisingly, why would you not make a product that you know they're going to want to watch? You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's what's so absurd about this whole thing, is they make it cater to the smaller percent, and then they openly push us away and say we're not wanted. It's like they're trying to get us to accept something we're just not interested in. At the bottom line is you can insult us, you can tell us we're not wanted, and you can say that our ideas are outdated and all that. You can blame us all you want, but at the end of the day, what'll wind up happening is we just lose interest, and then you lose us completely. That's, you know, bottom line. And from a monetary standpoint, it doesn't make sense, because even if you did want to push the message, if you wrote it well, you'd still have a lot of us stick around. And, you know, if it's written well and it's interesting, you know, a lot of the fight scenes and stuff like guys like, there's probably a lot of men that would still watch it and be like, yeah, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be memorable, but it would at least be tolerable. Then you would be printing money. You would be able to kill two birds with one stone. You would get your crap programming in, you know, your indoctrination and you would make money. But no, they're going like all the way. I think what it is I was reading some articles and they said that Disney is such a toxic place to work because of all the DEI stuff, because it's across the board, the whole company. So you imagine like trying to recruit and keep top talent, like directors, people like showrunners that would actually be interested in doing these kind of things, and they're just not interested in doing it. So they can't get anybody but these people that don't have any experience, and you're basically I don't know, man. And the only reason I bring Star Wars up is because it's the exact same arguments that are happening in Warhammer, and it's the exact same arguments that are happening in every other IP, and that's what I keep talking about. It's like, you could say any one of these is kind of stupid for a grown man to be arguing about, but you can clearly see across the board they're trying to do this cultural push, but they're doing it so badly that it's laughable. Like, that's the point. We're not even angry anymore. It's like we're apathetic. We don't care. We're just making fun. Now all we're going to do is just belittle it and make fun of it. And they're having a grand old time doing that. It's interesting. If you watch stuff like Nerdrotic or Mahler or Critical Drinker or any of the other movie and television or media critics, they're having a blast making fun of this stuff. And it's actually by your crap content, you're losing money, but you're making them money because they're making money hand over fist making fun of this stuff. And it just, I don't know, there's just something that's really cool about that. You know, it's almost like screw you too. You know what I mean? Oh, I did want to congratulate Cephas. I think he had like a 720-pound squat or some ridiculous amount. It was well over 700 pounds. Wow. And Unknown Strongman, just both of them just participated in events. I don't know how Bryce did in his competition, but he looked like he was doing really well. And then, of course, Seth is just killing it. So congratulations to you guys, man. You're making the old man look weak. I got some work to do. All right, let's get to those comments here. My buddy Liberty Garden, he writes, boxing is a brutal sport. It's great for conditioning and self-defense, but I would not let a kid, especially a girl, get in the ring except for very light sparring. And I gave him a smart-ass comment, and I wanted to address you because I hope you didn't take me too seriously. I know I was giving you crap back, but I was being playful. I don't know if it came off that way, though, so that's why I wanted to say. I do disagree with you, though, and I'll tell you why. I think that the parents, like, I'm very involved. You know, this is not, I don't just drop my kids off. I'm there with them. And if my children show an aptitude for something and they want to do it, I'm going to let them 100%. Now, yeah, as a father, I'm not going to let my kid get the crap beat out of her, and nor do I want to see her, like, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. It's just like I get a lot of the same opinions with the weightlifting. For the longest time, people would say you can't let kids under 13 lift heavy because it'll mess their bones up, and there's just no science to back that up. As a matter of fact, a lot of the science suggests that the more stress you put a younger body under, the heavier their bone density will be. So when they get to the age where they stop producing, you can't make bone after the age of 40, roughly. You know, it's different there's a curve to it, but essentially once you turn 40 years old, your body cannot grow bone anymore. So you're stuck with what you got. But people that are, most people that work like heavy industry, construction, they play sports, MMA, football, that kind of thing, even like tennis, they were testing the bone density of like tennis players' arms, and it's like off the charts just from repetitive hitting. So I actually think that it's actually really good for them with lifting. Now boxing, that's a tricky one because you're talking about, well, basically, yeah, combat sports. But I don't know. I think I disagree with you because I'm watching a lot of the kids, and the one thing that the kids are missing is fellowship. So they don't go out and participate and do things together anymore. There's no team sports. Parental involvement. So parents don't do anything with their kids anymore. They just drop them off and see you in an hour, kiddo. And confidence. And I think you get confidence from knowing how to carry yourself, which comes with combat sports training. Well, one of many things, but especially that. I noticed that kids that have an aptitude, like for me when I was younger, I took Taekwondo, and that was back in the day when they, martial arts were the big deal. It was before the UFC and all that. And we did contact. I did a little bit of, I did some martial arts, and but there's precautions. You're wearing pads. You just go out there and just start wailing on each other. And it's a highly refereed sport too, especially with the children. So I think what we're dealing with here is a little bit of what I call contempt prior to investigation. Because if I list the upsides and the downsides, and nothing's safe, there's nothing that's 100% safe. Watching her do gymnastics and some of the stuff they do, man, that could cripple you real quick if you have a bad day there. I don't know. And I think anything that's going to give your kids more confidence to be more calm, assertive human beings that are able to interact with each other without acting like whiny, resentful, victim. All these kids are victims. They're all overweight. They blame their parents for everything. It's like society's just wrong, and they're being wronged by society. And a lot of the kids that she goes to school with, they're all upper middle class, and they act like they're oppressed. And my daughter's like not that way because she trains with dad. You know what I mean? I wish I could get my son involved. I really do. He's missing out. Not that I can't get him involved. He just doesn't. He doesn't really show like a real drive for it like she does. And she's also really good at it too. So, that's definitely something I'm going to pursue. But I don't know. I just I read your comment and I get what you're saying, but it's kind of presumptuous, dude. You know what I mean? It's just saying like. I don't. It's just like it's something I would never leave on somebody's page. I just wouldn't leave a comment like that because it just presumes a lot of things and they're all negative. You know what I mean? I don't know. Most of the time, you leave really awesome advice, and I love having discourse with you, and I hope you continue to do so. But on this one, I don't know. This one's from Emerald Robinson. Your theory is an interesting one, but it would mean that something also happened to everyone else. No, it wouldn't. So we're talking about, I have this silly theory where if you have a near-death experience, you actually died, but then went over to the next multiverse, if you will, where you had survived the accident. And when I had a near-death experience, I remember it was right about the time that the world started going crazy. We went from freedom America, loving your veterans, being patriotic, to hating America, talking about communism, all this woke nonsense. And I'm like, did I die and wake up in an alternate universe? So that was the conversation, basically. But it would mean that something would also happen to everyone else. No, because I jumped into the universe where all that crap was already happening to all you people. You didn't get to experience the cool America. I don't know. There's some holes in my theory, I'm sure. It is an interesting thought experiment, though. Think about it. For all you Gen Xers out there, we were just kind of putzing along in the 2000s, early, late 90s. And everything was it's not like we didn't have our problems, but everything was cool, right? Things were fun. You were allowed to love beautiful women. Everybody was dressing real skimpy. They weren't afraid of showing off their bodies. There wasn't all this talk about racism. Not to say racism didn't exist, but it wasn't the common parlance. They weren't knocking statues of Abraham Lincoln down. What? We live in what I this is the dumbest America's ever been. I don't know if right, wrong, or indifference, but definitely the dumbest. The most uneducated. Think about this. You have youth coming out of universities advocating for knocking down statues of the man who freed the slaves. Now, you can make an argument about a lot of things, and there's nuance to that, but essentially, it's widely regarded as he's the man who freed the slaves, right? So you're going to knock his statue down. These same people couldn't tell you anything about Abraham Lincoln. Nothing. They couldn't tell you what state he was born in. They couldn't tell you how long he was president. They couldn't tell you about any of his policies. They couldn't tell you who he got shot by. They probably couldn't even tell you which president he was. They're stupid. But yet they're organized and they're going to knock statues down because that's the level of ridiculous that we're living in. Like, it's weaponized ignorance. That's what, if I could say anything about today, it's weaponized ignorance. It's people that are arguing and they don't know what they're arguing about. They're just arguing. They just know we're wrong. They don't like us. They want us gone, but they don't know what they stand for. They don't know history. Most of them can't find their own state on a map. They don't know what their home, capital is. Like it's really, really uneducated people that are pushing for revolution. That's got to be horrifying. That's got to be terrifying. Just the prospect of it all. I know that I'm not speaking for everybody in all those generations. I know there's educated people out there, but you guys tend to be not out there trying to burn cities down. Near as I can tell. I mean, go talk to those people. Like, if you've seen some of the interviews where they just randomly try to interview these people, the ones that are like, I hate Donald Trump. Why do you hate him? Because he's Hitler. That's your argument? Like, what? Can you tell me anything about Hitler? He had a mustache, sort of. They call Nazis a far-right movement. National Socialism. They were socialists. That's not far-right. Just stupid stuff like that. Like, I actually have a copy of Mussolini's Encyclopedia Italiana. And it outlays what his definition of fascism is by the man who coined the ideology of the movement. And if anything, America meets the definition of that. The left, American Democrats, meet the definition of fascism. The merging of corporate and state. They check a lot of the boxes off, is all I'm saying. But they're always calling conservatives, I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, these people wouldn't even be able to tell you that book exists, let alone point to the part where he wrote about it. Like, it's just how did I get on this topic? Oh, because I think I died and I woke up in an alternate universe and everything's just wacky now, and we're talking about, like, pushing for communism. Like, when I saw Che Guevara shirts, I was like, that guy, like, especially, oh my God, when I see LGBTQ, alphabet, Wi-Fi, password people wearing Che Guevara shirts, I'm like, he used to shoot you people, right? Like, line you up and it just blows me away that they don't know this stuff. Honestly, you probably just go to Wikipedia and read it. I mean, he wasn't a great guy, is all I'm saying. But no, we woke up in a wacky universe, man, and I don't know how we got here. And I want to go back. I really do. I miss the 90s and the early 2000s when we all used to, like, play Halo 3 online. And it was mid-2000s. Those were good times. Those were fun times. No, nobody knows how to have fun anymore. All the video games suck. All the movies suck. All the comic books, nobody buys comic books anymore. They all suck. There's a couple good ones I actually read, but most of them suck. It's just everything sucks. Everything's written by activists, and it's all pushing an agenda, and it's not entertaining. It's just garbage. This comment is for the Big E Bra, and it's in relation to our chickens. How do you not get sick? I have 17 chickens that live outside, and I've gotten sick by accidentally touching my phone after handling them and forgetting to wash my phone. Well, I'll tell you how. I have no idea. I don't know. We just handle them a lot. Girls are always picking them up. We got one that comes in the house every night. Is it bad hygiene? I think, honestly, I know, I'm not saying we don't wash our hands and stuff like that, but I do think that we live in a society that's cultivated that's over hygienic. Our immune systems are pretty robust, and if we allow ourselves to build that immune system up, our bodies are pretty miraculous. They will defend you against a lot of things. And I think that we've been programmed to over sanitize. Like during COVID, oh man, it was crazy. You know, like the hand sanitizer thing, you couldn't walk anywhere without being hosed down by hand sanitizer. I don't personally believe in hand sanitizer. I rarely wash my hands throughout the day. Like when I get crap all over them and I'm gonna eat, yeah, I mean, obviously. I do shower daily, but I don't over soap. I don't wash my hair every day. I used to shampoo every single day, and I found like I had dry scalp and itchy, and my hair was weird. It was just like not soft, and now it's like, well, I mean, we live in the desert, so it's like 110 degrees out, so it's gonna sweat. I mean, you can get out of the shower and feel like you need a shower out here. Seriously, like, this is a fresh shirt, and I already feel dirty. But that aside, no, I honestly think there's something to just handling them. Kids handle them all the time. They bring them in the house. Hey, baby. Oh, this is a question. Actually, you can answer this. This guy right here says, I have 17 chickens that live outside, and I've gotten sick by accidentally touching my phone after handling them and forgetting to wash my phone. He's wondering how we don't get sick all the time. You care to comment?
What's wrong with these chickens?
Well, what I was suggesting was, like, I think that as a society we have a tendency to over sanitize.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just handling them, there might be something to that, because the kids are nasty. You know, they bring all sorts of diseases in the house.
And they're always picking up the chickens and not washing their hands at all.
And I don't wash my hands a ton. I'm not big on hand sanitizer. I know you're a little, because you went to school for microbiology.
So after I'm in public,
Yeah.
because people are
Yeah.
gross, that's when I sanitize my hands. But just around my house, no, because my chickens are healthy
Yeah.
and they're clean and keeps clean.
Well, I wouldn't presume that his is dirty, but I mean, I've heard that like people get salmonella from chickens and handling eggs and stuff.
Right, but how did the salmonella get in there?
I don't know. See, that's where your expertise.
Somewhere, one of these chickens got it
Yeah.
somehow, and I don't know anything. Did he bring a new chicken in without quarantine? Did he
Yeah, so we would need some context. We need to know
drip bad water?
how are you keeping your coop? How are all your chickens? Have you?
Feed him something he didn't wash, and it had salmonella? Because
Yeah.
a lot of lettuce had salmonella last year.
It's true. It could be some of the rotten foods that we feed the chickens or the leftovers.
Yeah, I don't feed them rotten, but I'll feed them.
Well, if I wouldn't eat it, I consider it rotten. They're not necessarily rotten, but they get stuff that's scraps, right? Yeah. So I need more context is the answer. Well, unfortunately, this video is getting a little bit long, and I do actually have to work tonight, so this leaves me enough time to do a little bit of training. My daughter is staying at Granny's tonight, so I won't be going to the gym. Oh, they're closed Sundays anyway, so man, it is hot outside. Wow. Shoot me requests for the drawings, the illustrations. I am taking them. I'm looking for inspiration. Anything fantasy or Warhammer related. I'm trying to do the humorous thing where I'm poking little jabs at the DEI community. So, so expect that. As always, leave me a comment. I do respond to comments, so I get my comments from you guys, and you guys provide my content for me. As always, I love you guys, and I will see you on the battlefield.